Welcome to your source for research, innovation, news, insights, and commentary. This is your Research Business Daily Report, where we're sponsored today and this week by Nuance, offering multi-language verbatim coding services to help companies quantify the meaning of open-ended answers. Nuance, a decision analyst company. The co-founder of big data company known as Evolv, Jim Meyerle, authored what I thought was an outstanding article entitled 3 Ways to Building a Winning Big Data Research and Development Team. Tell me if his prescriptions for finding and hiring additional analytics expertise, which is something research is hot and heavy into, doesn't also ring true for our business. First, Meyerle says you want to have individuals with experience working with large disparate data sets. Check. He looks at actuaries who code on the side and experts in artificial intelligence as 2 ongoing targets. Next, Meyerle says for thick market problems, he thinks it's smart to recruit economists from economic consulting firms because these people can build the best probabilistic risk assessment models. To find them, it's a challenge, but not impossible. Identify industries and companies with people who have these types of backgrounds. Meyerle also admits to relying heavily on academia. Quote, the best and brightest minds in big data science usually end up in a research role at a major academic research institution, he says. Master's or PhD candidates often have a hard time getting their hands on real-world current data sets. And he says they would jump at the chance of turning these data into insight. Evolv has working agreements with 8 major universities, and that, Meyerle says, helps it get early looks at the hottest new candidates about to hit the private market. He remarked that the hardest to recruit top minds in the big data field are accessible if your company's mission is linked to their own individual and personal interests. So, take the time to check out the thesis of individuals that you might be interested in and see how each one may align with your company's mission. Next, every company at one point or another feels it's time to change its brand packaging. Decision Insight Chief Research Officer Alex Sodek realizes it's an everyday occurrence, but he pointed out to us the folly of doing that in many instances. He showed a handful of reasons why it often either doesn't work or it may actually even backfire. I'm going to let Alex explain for himself.
Most of the packaging changes that we see are the advent of 2 things. First, you get a brand new brand manager in, he wants to put a stamp on the brand, and one of the things they do is change the packaging. And that can be really risky. The other is that there might be some tracking research that says we need to improve the perception of health or taste. And again, we have to be careful that it's in the right context.
So a company that is considering changing its packaging usually doesn't have a major problem with the existing packaging, but something minor or relatively minor. And you're saying that very often they go too far in redoing the entire package?
Exactly. The key here is that the packaging is trying to fix some brand perception. It can help some, but the most important task for it to do is to make sure we maximize sales, increase visibility on the shelf.
Well, you just made an interesting point. Does marketing always consider sales as among the primary considerations when they're changing the package?
I think it's the last thing they think of a lot of times, unfortunately. Their focus is so often on the brand itself. They're trying to improve the equity of the brand. And so that's a little different than focusing on sales. So focusing on sales has so much to do with the physical aspect of the package in the store. And again, that's the reason we suggest so often that you test it in the store.
They tend not to test it in the store or in a store environment?
Most of the time packaging is in the context of normative values. They compare it to what has historically been done. They do it in isolation. They'll have attribute ratings that says it improves the perception of taste or healthiness, or people like the new packaging better. But likes not sales. At the end of the day, how we impact sales is always going to be the most important measure when you're thinking about what you're doing in the store. Probably the most important thing is that in the last 10 years, we've seen more new packaging fail than succeed. So it's easy to get it wrong.
We thank Alex for his time, and if you'd like to email him, he's at alexs@decisioninsight.com. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Nuance, offering multi-language verbatim coding services to help companies quantify the meaning of open-ended answers. Nuance, a decision analyst company. We've got a link for those of you who would like to know more about Nuance. It's www.nuancecoding.com. We hope you have a great research day, a profitable rest of your research week. Please enjoy your weekend and join us back here on Monday.